Humanity's secret quantum engine broke every law of physics. The room beneath the mountain. Dr. Marcus Chen had signed enough non-disclosure agreements to fill a small library, but none of them had prepared him for what lay behind door 7 of sub-level 12. The facility was called Meridian Station, though almost no one outside a tiny circle of physicists and government overseers knew it existed. Carved into a mountain in a location Marcus was forbidden from naming even in his own private notes, it housed what the project's founders had, half as a joke and half in genuine awe, named the engine. "You are the 7th person cleared to see this," said Dr. Amara Osei, the project's lead physicist, as she guided him down a corridor lit by soft blue emergency lighting. "After tonight, you'll understand why we don't sleep well anymore." "You say that like it's supposed to comfort me," Marcus said. Amara didn't smile. "It's not." The door to the central chamber was 3 feet of reinforced alloy, cooled by a system Marcus didn't recognize. When it finally opened, the air that rushed out was impossibly cold, and beyond it, suspended in a chamber of magnetic containment fields, hovered something that made Marcus's mind refuse, for several long seconds, to process what his eyes were reporting. It was a sphere, roughly 3 meters in diameter, constructed of interlocking rings that rotated independently of one another, except they weren't simply rotating. They were folding, vanishing at one edge and reappearing at another, as though the object existed simultaneously in more directions than the 3 humans could perceive. "That," Amara said quietly, "is not supposed to be possible." "What is it?" Marcus whispered. "We don't fully know," she admitted. "We call it the engine because it produces energy, obscene, almost limitless amounts of it. But calling it an engine might be like calling a star a light bulb. It's accurate, technically. It misses everything that matters." 2. What the engine broke. Over the following weeks, Marcus was given access to 11 years of research data, and with each report he read, his understanding of physics, the very framework he had built his career upon, began to quietly disintegrate. The engine had first been discovered, not built. 11 years earlier, a joint research team studying anomalous gravitational readings in a deep underground laboratory had detected a localized field where the fundamental constants of physics appeared to fluctuate by fractions of a percent. Careful investigation revealed a structure embedded within layers of ancient granite, a structure with no discernible origin, no manufacturing marks, and materials that did not match any known element on the periodic table. "At first, we thought it was a fluke of the instruments," Amara explained during one of their late-night conversations in the empty observation deck. "Then we thought it might be a natural formation, some strange product of geology and pressure. It took us 2 years to accept the truth. Someone built this. Or something did." The engine's most disturbing property, Marcus learned, was its apparent violation of the conservation of energy, the very bedrock principle upon which all of physics rested. Under controlled testing, it produced measurable energy output with no corresponding energy input, a finding so absurd that 3 separate independent labs had been secretly brought in to verify it, each swearing the same oaths of silence Marcus now carried. "Conservation of energy isn't just a rule," Marcus said, staring at the containment chamber through reinforced glass one evening. "It's not just a law. It's practically the definition of how reality behaves." "We know," Amara said, "which is why some of us believe the engine isn't creating energy at all." "Then what is it doing?" "Borrowing it," she said, "from somewhere else." 3. The other side. The theory that eventually dominated Meridian Station's research, controversial, unproven, and quietly terrifying to those who accepted it, was that the engine functioned as a kind of bridge, a structure capable of drawing energy from beyond the boundaries of observable spacetime itself, from dimensions or parallel configurations of reality that conventional physics could not describe, only infer. "Think of our universe as a single page in an enormous book," Dr. Yusuf al-Rashid, the project's theoretical lead, explained to Marcus during a private briefing. "Everything we've ever measured, ever observed, ever built our physics upon, exists within that page. The engine appears to reach between pages." "That's not physics," Marcus said. "That's philosophy wearing physics as a costume." Yusuf's expression didn't waver. 6 years ago, I would have agreed with you. Then I watched it violate thermodynamics on a Tuesday afternoon and ruin my understanding of the universe over coffee. The deeper the research went, the stranger the implications became. Small-scale experiments showed the engine could, under precise conditions, influence probability itself, nudging quantum outcomes in ways that classical interpretations of quantum mechanics insisted should be impossible to control. Objects placed near its active field occasionally displayed brief, inexplicable duplications in their quantum states, vanishing before any meaningful data could be gathered. "It's not just an energy source," Amara said one night, watching data cascade down a wall of monitors like falling rain. "It might be a doorway. And we still don't know if we are the ones meant to open it, or if we simply stumbled onto its threshold by accident." 4. The weight of power. As Meridian Station's research advanced, so did the pressure from those funding it. Military liaisons who had once observed from a careful distance began pushing harder for applications. Weapons, propulsion systems, unlimited power grids capable of reshaping the geopolitics of energy itself. Marcus watched the tension grow with a mounting unease he found difficult to name. "They want to weaponize something we don't understand," he said to Amara one night, the two of them alone in the observation deck long after the rest of the staff had gone. "That should terrify everyone in this building." "It does," Amara said. "But terror doesn't stop ambition. It never has." "Then what do we do?" Amara was quiet for a long moment, watching the engine's rings fold and unfold in their impossible, silent dance. "We do what scientists have always had to do when they find something bigger than themselves," she said finally. "We go slowly. We document everything. We refuse the shortcuts, even when the people funding us scream for them. And we remember that just because something can be used, doesn't mean it should be used before we understand what it truly is." Marcus looked at the engine, its light casting soft blue shadows across the chamber walls, humming with a power that predated their entire understanding of the universe, and perhaps, he thought uneasily, predated humanity's ability to responsibly hold it. "Do you think we'll ever fully understand it?" he asked. Amara considered the question with the weight it deserved. "I think," she said slowly, "some discoveries aren't meant to be understood quickly. I think they're meant to teach us patience. The engine broke every law we thought was absolute: energy, causality, probability itself. But maybe the real lesson isn't in the physics it violates. Maybe it's in whether we have the wisdom to earn the power it offers, before that power decides how it will be used for us." Outside the reinforced glass, the engine continued its slow, impossible rotation, patient, ancient, and infinitely far beyond the small, fragile species that had only just begun to glimpse what it truly was. Some laws, it seemed, were only the beginning of a much larger story, one humanity was still learning how to read. The end.